Hi, friend. 2024 is here, and let's dive into my business tips for you to build your business this year. Let's dive in. If you are a teeth whitening or tooth gem specialist, this is the podcast for you. My name's Rach, and I am the industry leader of all things teeth entrepreneurship. Together, let's learn from real-life experiences to must-have brands on how to take your business to the next level and leave that 9-to-5. Friend, welcome to Whitening Wednesday, and I'm so glad you are here. Let's build a safe industry together. Before we dive into this week's episode, let's do a shameless plug on Mentorrach. If you haven't booked a mentorship yet with myself, ask yourself why. I am honestly here to help you with your specific business questions, concerns, and everything in between. If you are having any holdbacks in your teeth whitening or tooth gem business, I probably have had the same thing and can get you through it with my long list of resources and honestly, just my experience. I can make sure you succeed this year in 2024. So friend, DM me for your discount code to get 10% off your first mentorship with Rach for 2024. I can't wait to chat one-on-one with you soon. I have 3 different categories for you to focus on if you want to blow your business up for 2024. Now, everyone has a different idea for their business. If your business for you is just a side hustle, extra income here and there, more family and friends, then these are not applicable to you. But if your business is to generate an actual source of income and to potentially one day be your full-time revenue, like your full income, then these tips are for you. Our 3 categories are, our first one is SEO, search engine optimization. We're going to deep dive into this more. You've heard me talk about it. We're going to talk about it again. Then 2 and 3 are all about flow, your business flow. 2 is going to be your digital flow, and 3 is going to be your physical space flow. Let's start with SEO. If you're not familiar with SEO, it's your search engine optimization, and this is how you rank on search engines. So the biggest one, of course, is Google, and this is where if you want anything, if you're looking for a hairdresser, a microblade artist, a new dentist, etc., where are you going to go? You're going to go to Google, you're going to type in whatever you're looking for, and of course, you're going to look at the top few options that come up. Maybe you'll scroll through the first page, but I highly doubt you ever go off that first page. And this is why SEO is so important. SEO is getting you to the top of that search page. Because if someone types in teeth whitening for your area, you need to be ranking in those top 3 spots. Or how are they going to know that you exist? So SEO is your bestie that works in the background. So there's so many different ways on how you can build SEO, but they all come down to one thing. It's time commitment and it's an investment. You can't just build out SEO overnight and have it work. It takes time. It takes time for Google to realize exactly what your service is, who you are, and also who you serve so that Google knows where to put you in front of. So what do I recommend here? I recommend you figuring out a budget. Call it an advertising budget. And you need a monthly advertising budget. I would put an amount for ads so that you get quicker return on. But then you also need an amount on SEO, and this is your back work that's going to be your marathon. Eventually, it's going to work for you, but it's going to take time. Let me give you an example. I recently just had consultation with a new SEO company because, as you know, if you've listened to our last episode, we got burned by an SEO company. So this new SEO company, we were going through it and really, really interesting. They did a completely different overview of SEO than what the other company did. And this SEO made a lot more sense to me. Now, what was interesting though, is when we were looking into Fern's lead competitors, we were looking at the backlinks and roughly how they are ranking. And for Fern to even beat out the top wholesale distributor that's ranking the best on Google, it would take us a minimum budget of $1,200 a month for 3 years to finally be the top ranking. And that's if our competitor in this space doesn't up their backlinks and continue to push forward. So think about that from a literal scientific, you could say, point of view. Fern can never rank number one for at least 3 years. And that's with a budget of $1,200 USD a month. So, friend, this is why SEO is so important to always be working in the background. Because in 3 years, Fern's going to be very thankful that we've put in the time and money. But right now, this is going to suck for Fern a lot. This is another piece of the puzzle that we're going to have to put forward. And this is going to be another expense that, as we know as business owners, they add up quickly. So is SEO going to suck because it takes a long time to work? Absolutely. But friend, think of the benefits if you were the number one ranked teeth whitening provider in your location. Sit on that, think about it, and go look up SEO companies in your area. Number 2, let's talk about flow. So 2 and 3 are all about flow. And what's flow? Business flow is literally the process of your business. You want it to be easy. You want it to be smooth. You don't want it to be confusing. You want your customers to be able to go from start to finish and have no hiccups in between. So let's talk digital flow, because digital flow comes before physical flow. So your digital flow is literally what your client's going to experience as soon as they find you. As we know, everything is on that digital market now, right? So first things first, if you do not have a business page, like a landing page, ideally a website, but just a landing page will work, you need to get on that. This page needs to be simple, not overworded, not confusing, not 12 different things. Keep it crisp and simple. An example I love to always point out here is go to Apple. Literally go to Apple and see how simplified their pages are. It's practically just a picture of a phone and everything else falls into place. So think less is best. So keep it informative, but don't keep it overloaded, chunky, and hard to read. Keep it simple. From there, your socials. You need socials. Even though they are the biggest pain in the ass, you need them. So make sure your socials are clean. Does it make sense? Is it catchy? Does it really embody your physical space as well? So if your space is very bold in color and maybe you have fun rap music playing all the time, like that is your vibe, that is your theme, then don't have your socials look dainty and plant-like, etc. You want your socials to match your physical theme as much as possible, so you're not misleading a certain clientele and that no one feels uncomfortable potentially with your space if it's not what they were expecting. Okay? So make sure your socials embody your physical space. Now, talking about socials, this is something that I still can't wrap my head around. Guys, you need your contact email linked to your profile. The amount of times that I see whitening or gem providers that just have the DM me option, like just the message option, you are losing so many clients. And here's why. With the ever-changing policy standards, okay, it is so hard to slide into a potential client's DM now. Okay, so if a client slides into your DM, it's a lot more common now that they're going to get flagged as spam or sit in your request folder. How often do you check those folders? So if you just had your email there that was easily accessible, it's a huge turnaround rate that you're going to get actually a response, because you're actually going to see that client's inquiry. If you only have an option for DMing, you're missing a huge market. So make sure you either have your contact number or a contact email. I would be prepared if you have that contact number there. Most likely you're going to get texts, but ideally you want at least your email there. Okay. Email is huge. Now, what else about the email? You cannot have Sally Sue 22 point exclamation. Okay. You need a professional email. This is huge. And also it's going to save you in the long run. Say if you're still at the stage where you're doing e-transfers, you want to make sure that your email is easy to remember and to type in, because you don't want any messy pieces if someone's trying to e-transfer you and they've gotten your email wrong because it's so long and confusing, etc. Short, sweet, business email. That's all I need to say. Now you're probably thinking, well, Rach, I don't want to pay for my domain email. In a perfect world, your domain email does look the most professional. So for example, hello@Mentorrach. Easy, and also it looks professional. But worst case scenario, if you're at a point where you're trying to keep your costs down and you don't want to pay for a domain email, then don't stress. Create hellomentorrach@gmail.com. So get crafty, keep it easy and simple, but do make sure you have a professional email. Now, having your email is a great way for clients to ask potential questions, but please don't leave your email as the spot for the clients to be booking. You need an online booking option. I feel like the majority of you have this already, but if you don't, you need it. Clients do not want to call. Clients do not want to have to go back and forth on this time, that time, etc. They just want a calendar link that they can go in, find a time that works for them, and they can just book it. Now, the question I get a lot here is, what about deposits? Should I have a deposit down for my email booking, or my online booking, I should say? And the truth is, this is something you're going to have to figure out for your specific location. Myself personally, I would not. But that being said, if you are renting a space and you really need those clients to show up to make your ends meet for the day, then yes, put a deposit down. But I do find that clients that have to put deposits down, you are going to lose some retention here, because honestly, if you're telling me that I need to put a card number down and my card is outside, like in my car in the freezing cold at 9:00 at night, I'm not going to book that appointment. So do think about that. I would start no deposit. If you're getting a lot of no-shows, then add a deposit option. But the other thing I find with deposit options, because some providers do require you to put down 50% to 100% of your fee. And the tricky thing here is as we know with teeth whitening, all results vary and all clients are not necessarily able to have their teeth whitened. So let's say you put down a deposit feature and the client has to pay you 100% of your fee. So let's say you charge $150. They've prepaid, they show up, and they have a full set of veneers. Well, guess what? Most likely you are very, very rarely going to be doing a full whitening session on this client, maybe just a boost. So then this is going to get messy. You're going to have to explain that you can't do the full service. You're going to have to get them half of their money back. And it's again not flowing well. So this is why I don't recommend deposits for teeth whitening, even with tooth gems, because tooth gems, again, all clients vary in bite, type, etc. So maybe they really want a chandelier design, but they have a really, really deep bite, and you can't put that design where they want it. Again, if they prepaid for that and then you can't offer it to them, it's just messy. So deposits, figure that out on your own, but I personally would not do that. Now, what about our physical flow? Our physical flow is now that the client's made it to you. So the digital flow is we've found your profile, we've ended up booking, and now we're going to show up for the appointment. One thing I want to note here before we go to the appointment is after they've booked an appointment, do make sure you have some sort of email that automatically goes out so you don't have to deal with sending it. A reminder of what the client's to expect, how long's the appointment, where can they park, etc. Just the more information you can give the client, the more prepared they're going to feel and just the more comfortable it's going to be for them. So here's some quick little clips that we would share in our before email. We would let them know where to park. We would let them know to dress comfy. Who wants to be in like a really tight outfit while you're sitting back getting your teeth whitened? So we say, dress comfy, like you are going to lounge around on the couch for the day, and bring headphones because lots of clients love popping in audiobooks, podcasts, etc. So those are some fun tips that we would always mention. And we would always highlight in large letters, all results vary. So now they've shown up. At this point, you need to make sure that your physical flow is flawless. Is it clean? Is your physical space clean from not only a visual standpoint, but also a smelling standpoint? I don't know if it's just me, but smells are like my weakness. If there's weird smells, I'm not going to enjoy service. So make sure it smells clean. Now, one thing that can get kind of hard to juggle here is the difference between clean and an overpowering scent. So do remember that clients can potentially have allergies. So try not to light really heavy scented candles or really intense essential oils. If you are going to be working with, say, a specific essential oil, put that in your intro email, just in case clients do have sensitivities. So that's something to watch for. And then from there, also make sure that your clients feel comfortable. So if you're at a home-based location, where are your pets? Where are your kids? Where are your spouses? I did always find that clients did always feel a little awkward, say if like a spouse was running from one end of the house to the other, etc. Just make sure that you are providing a service location that feels comfortable to you. Now, what about music? Are you using a spa vibe? As I mentioned again, if you're more of an upbeat location, do you have like fun pop music, etc.? But again, make sure the vibe is your flow from start to finish. Now, the next part of your physical location is now going into your actual whitening products or gem products. Where are they stored? Are they just flopped out on a counter, like all messy? Does it look like they are in a nice and disinfected environment? So, is your chair clean? Are there footprints still on it? Is there dirt on the floor? I mean, you have to make sure that your space is as cleanly as possible, and also that your products are in the most clean environment. So what we always recommend here is if you are pre-setting out your trays, make sure you have a tray with a lid so that the lid is covering everything and that it looks like everything is fresh and ready to go for that client. I know coming from the dental field, clients would look all the time to see, if you are taking them out of a sterile bag, et cetera, et cetera. So clients look for these things. So make sure that you are providing top-notch service and that everything from the floor to your tray is as clean and cleanly as possible. Now, consent forms. Make sure your consent forms, if you're doing it digitally or if you're doing it on pen and paper, that these locations are also clean. So let's say you're doing it digitally. Make sure the iPad is not full of fingerprints and sticky, okay? If you're doing the clipboard, make sure the clipboard isn't sticky and full of fingerprints. Keep these items clean. Same with the pens. This also goes for your processor. So if it's your phone or if you have like a touchpad, that's important. And one thing that has been my biggest pet peeve forever, ever since I've been in the dental industry, is the cleanliness of your face mirrors. Okay? Who wants to look into a face mirror that's dirty? So make sure that if you are doing handheld face mirrors, you are cleaning these mirrors every single time. Same with your safety glasses. Now you're probably like, ooh, Rachel, obviously I disinfect my safety glasses, but disinfectant typically leaves film or water barrier. So after you've disinfected your mirror and or your safety glasses, make sure you then also wipe them down to get rid of that residue, or those areas, even though they're clean, are going to look dirty. Little pro tip there. Now, once we're in the consent form phase, from there, it's about your service, which of course you should feel very confident in. Now, the last thing that I recommend for your physical space, where are your retail items? As we know, our chairside service is the bulk of our revenue, but we can be upping our revenue by adding additional items on. So remember, you should always be working with products during the session that you can also send home. So for example, if that's mouthwash, toothpaste, lip chap, etc., all these items that you potentially are using on the client chair side, you should be selling in a retail form. So make sure that the client is able to physically see these items physically, and then also make sure that you are talking about these items. How will these items help keep their smile bright? How can they add these items into their daily routine? This is where you're going to close the deal on retail items. So our physical space, clean, smells great, sounds great. Everything is a flow from start to finish. And when we go to check out, so let's say when the client's ready to pay, make sure you have this flow perfect. We don't want it to be awkward, so we want to make sure that the client is able to pay quick and seamlessly. We want the client to not feel awkward on if they need to leave a tip or not. So make sure that's apparent somewhere in your literature. If that's in your pre-email or when they come to pay, is there an option to add a tip or not? I always found that it's easier to just put the tip option there, and if they decline it, they decline it, than it is for them to pay and then them awkwardly ask like, ooh, I didn't bring any cash, like how can I give you a tip, etc. So make it very apparent right off the hop where you are expecting the tip. Are you taking tips? Are your service provider taking tips, or are you not? And side note, even if you are a dental professional, you can take tips as long as you are not in the dental office. So I would recommend asking for tips because it is a service. It's a cosmetic service. I'm sure you tip your esthetician if you get your nails done, or your hairdresser, etc. So you should also be getting tipped. It's a teeth whitening tech. Now, back on track. From there, where do they get their receipt? Is it automatically sent to them? Do you need to physically do it? And how are you giving them a follow-up info? So are you handing them a post-op card, a card that's reminding them of the food or drinks to eat, or are you sending them something digitally? So think about that. That falls a little bit potentially back into the digital realm of your flow, but it could potentially be in your physical flow if you are, say, only taking cash, or if you are handing out physical post-op forms. So both options there, but make sure it is so easy from start to finish. So what do we think? Do we think that our steps for the new year do include cleaning up our SEO and making sure our flow is on point? Let us know in the comments. Do leave us a review, and a also 5-star review would be great. And let us know what other things you want to hear Rach talk about in these solo episodes. I felt like this 2024 business tips was something that could be very helpful as we are launching into 2024. But let me know what else you want to hear. I'm planning on doing at least one solo episode a month. So take a vote in our DMs or through our email on what topic you want to learn more about in depth in a solo episode. Thanks so much, friend, for listening as always, and I will catch you again next week on Whitening Wednesday.